White people, how do you feel about segregation?
I ain't going backwards. They are going to literally have to remove me from black-owned stores, black-owned restaurants, and black neighborhoods. So the problem is that us white people, we have been lied to so much, being told that we're superior. We ain't shit. We wouldn't be shit if our forefathers didn't lie, cheat, and steal and change history. Come on, I ain't going backwards. I see the value. I know the value of black people in my life. I know that I wouldn't be who I am without the black people that I've had in my life, a part of my journey. No. And if you're white and you don't like what I got to say, you can have the life you deserve because I don't give a rat's ass.
Now, that is the question we are going to answer today. And white people are the ones who are going to answer this question. Because one of a black content creator did a video on social media asking white people how they feel about segregation. And they came out in numbers and they answered the question how they feel. Some are sad about it. Each and every white person who answered this one was like, oh, God damn it, this bullshit. We don't want it. And that come to my question. Black people are like, yeah, bring it back, yeah. And white people, of all the people I thought they would be the one that will be happy, they are like, ah, God damn it, this is bad. We don't want it. That's come to my question. Like, is it white people are not happy about that segregation? Is it what they wanted all along? Okay? But I believe the white people who are out here on social media saying that this is bad are the ones who already they understand the consequences of segregation. Already they know that it will affect them so bad. They know that segregation isn't good for the white people. And that's why black people are like, yeah, bring it on, yeah. And they are like, oh, we are done. And I will tell you why. But first of all, let's listen to these videos, watch these clips. It's very amazing, very mwah. And then we'll come back again and talk about it.
White people, how do you feel about the segregation ban? I already know how people of color...
So, because I look a certain way, people assume I'm white. I'm very mixed. I'm heavily mixed. And I love my family. I'm angry at this. So angry, in fact, I have to keep myself under control because the only thing I want to do is every time someone mentions Trump, anytime someone turns around and claims something, I double up my fist, I don't care who the fuck it is, and plant them. Because I have family who are trying to flee the country right now. Get the fuck out of here because they don't know if their marriage is even going to be legal by the end of this. Because they're interrace. I've got friends who I don't know if I'm going to be allowed to hang out with because of this bullshit. I got people in my life who mean the fucking world to me that I don't know if I'm going to be allowed to associate with. They got rid of this shit and I'm curious. You gonna bring back lynching too? Because that's bullshit. And I'm pretty sure that's what's next. We have literally stepped so far fucking back. It is embarrassing. The world is looking at America going, what the fuck are you doing? And instead of, us owning up to our responsibility and due diligence as U.S. citizens, we're allowing it to fucking happen. I already said, y'all want to fucking make a trip, I call shotgun. Like, I'll ride with you. Because I don't have a vehicle. If I had a vehicle, this would be another situation. I'd probably be in an orange jumpsuit right now. With no care. With no fucking care. But I don't. So I have to wait. I didn't vote for this motherfucker. I didn't vote for this shit. I didn't vote to lose family, and friends and rights and the whole nine fucking yards. I didn't vote for none of this shit. But a lot of you did. And I gotta ask, how does it feel being an embarrassment?
I ain't going backwards. They are going to literally have to remove me from black-owned stores, black-owned restaurants, and black neighborhoods. So the problem is that us white people, we have been lied to so much, being told that we're superior. We ain't shit. We wouldn't be shit if our forefathers didn't lie, cheat, and steal and change history. Come on, I ain't going backwards. I see the value. I know the value of black people in my life. I know that I wouldn't be who I am without the black people that I've had in my life, a part of my journey. No. And if you're white and you don't like what I got to say, you can have the life you deserve, because I don't give a rat's ass.
As a custodian, I know exactly how to clog pipes. Any kind of pipes. I know all the things because I've had to unclog them. So I guess I'm going to get really crafty. Maybe. I mean, I'm not going to use whites only sinks and shit because that's stupid. Maybe nobody else will either.
I mean, as somebody that's mostly white, it pisses me off. It really pisses me off. Because how long has this been discussed? Like, we've been discussing these issues since 2016. We've been telling people this is going to happen. And they're like, trying to make every excuse imaginable. Oh, that's not going to happen. That would never happen. Well, it happened. And now my question is, how far is it going to go? Because they're not going to stop there. This is only affecting like federal contractors. But how long before they try to strip civil rights and make racism completely legal and acceptable, and there's not going to be any type of repercussions? Like, I have family members that are, Native American and Latino. It's like, are they going to go after them next? Like, racism as a concept in society, it's just like low intelligence. I don't feel like it's going to stop at this. I feel like it's going to get worse, and we still have to keep on people and still be vocal about it. And I don't want to hear anybody explain away or, pull the whataboutisms, because it's not going to stop there. It's going to get worse. So yeah, I'm pretty pissed off. And yeah, I would say more, but I don't feel like getting a CGB on this. It's just fucking stupid. That's all I have to say. It's fucking stupid. I hate it. I hate the people that support it. And I'm sick of Americans, other Americans saying, oh, that would never happen. It's happening. You all need to pay attention now. Okay? Let's stop with the whataboutisms and stop saying it's not going to happen and kick the can down the road. It is happening right now, and it's not going to stop there. It's going to get worse.
The people who are for segregation can go ahead and find the nastiest toilet and drink the water from it. If you are for segregation, you're a piece of shit.
Okay, the first thing I want to say is I think it's ridiculous. It's stupid, and I just whatever. I'm just pissed at everything that guy does. Okay, but one thing that I do want to bring up is the fact that be very careful and don't be distracted, because a lot of times he's a pro at this. He will do something that's so outrageous, everybody's looking and paying attention while something else is going on over here on this side. It's a distraction. The more outrageous, the more distracted everybody becomes, and then they're not paying attention to what's going on over here. They're paying attention to the latest outrageous bullshit. I mean, he's been doing that renaming the Gulf of Mexico, making English the official language of the United States, and that stupid invoking the Alien Enemies Act that now he's claiming he never signed. Okay, it's just one outrageous thing after another. What the hell else is going on that he's trying to take our attention away from? So, to answer your question, I think it's freaking ridiculous. I want to move forward. I don't want to move backward. I don't want to go back to 1964 when the ban on segregation was enacted. Okay, I don't want to go back to the 50s. I don't want to go back to the 1700s. I want to move forward, and we will never be able to move forward as long as the maggot politicians are in power. Period. They do not want us moving forward. They want to keep us stagnant. And they want to be dictators and authoritarians. And we won't go anywhere as long as they stay in power. So I know I'm a little long-winded, but that's the way I am. So anyway, there you have it.
I made a video about this yesterday. Hi. So if I see any of those water fountains, I'm shitting in them. I highly advise everybody else to do the same. If it's in a place that I can get a chain on that shit, I'm ripping it off the fucking wall. Yeah, I don't go for that. My house doesn't go for that. The people that I have near me don't go for that shit. It's the people in the counties, in the towns, that still have the sundown laws. Yeah, it's those fucking people that we need to be worried about. Wayne County, Illinois, and Southern Illinois, many other fucking places. We know who you are. We've heard you since we were knee-high to a fucking pig's eye, talking shit about people all the fucking time. You don't think we didn't, just bank that shit in there? For days like today, when a fucking lunatic got to get in office and run the country like it's his fucking circus? And all you goddamn clowns just... Fuck you guys. That's 100%, hands down, shitting in every water fountain I see. Yep. Love you guys.
Well, I'll tell you this. If I find out any restaurant, store, any kind of public company place, anyone, no matter what, if I see them starting to actually use segregation, won't serve to black people, or have the restaurant divided into different sections, or start returning water fountains with particular signs on them, or anything even remotely like that, I won't be protesting those places. I won't be like, I'm not going to shop in your store, not buy your food anymore. Because there won't be anything to protest. Because I'll be returning with a can of gasoline and a fucking match.
I'm a white dude married to a Latino woman, and we have a son together. But even if I wasn't married to my wife or had my son, fuck Jim Crow. Separate but equal is never equal. And I know folks are going to come into my comments probably say, but Dave, his executive order only affects federally contracted facilities. And I would tell those people to shut the fuck up, because red states will see that as a precedent, enact their own Jim Crow policies, and it could possibly bleed into the private sector. I want my minority homies to know that it cuts both ways, though. And if it ever got that bad, it would be fucking hilarious for me to walk down the street and see no whites allowed signs on businesses, or whites eat in the back, or the white shitter is a porta-john in Texas in July. Like begets like. Just remember that if you're pro this bullshit, if you support Trump and his policies, it will come back and bite you in the ass.
So, the only way segregation would make me happy is if we were segregating MAGA, everyone else from MAGA. That's the only way segregation would make me happy. But in 3 months, we have undone everything that Medgar Evers, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., and the Black Panthers have fought for. And let's not forget all of those who were murdered during the civil rights era for standing up for the black community. And let's not forget those that have passed away from old age or that are no longer with us. We still have Ruby Bridges with us. So you still have Bernice King with us. I'm flabbergasted. If you're happy about it and you're a snow demon, you just showed why we call you snow demons. And I'm a snow demon. If this was the black community or the Latino community or the Asian community or the indigenous community putting it up, that'd be fine. That would absolutely be fine, because you guys do need to protect yourself from snow demons. Look, I don't ascribe to racist ideas. I am working very, very, very hard to undo a lot of the subconscious biases that I grew up with. But you don't know me. You see me walking down the street. I'm a snow demon. You don't know that I'm not racist, or I'm working very hard to not be. You don't know that I'm not going to call the cops on you, that I'll probably call the cops on the white person calling the cops on you. You don't know that. So I think if this was not coming from the white community, it would be okay. Because all the communities that are not white, you need to protect yourselves. And I get it. But no, I'm not happy about it. It's undoing everything. Everything. In 3 months, this administration has completely destroyed this nation. Our nation wasn't perfect before, but at least we were on our way. We were on our way to being better. When you talk about America being great, ask yourself what it was actually great for. Because I guarantee you, there's a whole community that would tell you that America wasn't great for them. Yeah, 2 communities actually. But the only way a segregation law would make me happy is if we were segregating MAGA from the rest of society. Good Lord knows we don't need MAGA in this society. We're too civilized for them. But yeah, no. This law doesn't make me happy. We just undid everything. Everything. And that's not a good thing.
Okay, I know you hate seeing my face as a response to this very important question. And I want to preface it by saying that my opinion really doesn't matter. But I've been thinking a lot about this in the last few days because I've been seeing more and more folks talk about segregation in the United States. And without using white women's tears, I'm just going to say that I know that this country is extremely abusive. This country has a history of extreme violence and abuse, particularly against Black people. And I felt like for decades we have been making slow incremental progress, but progress nonetheless. And what we're seeing in this country now, which America has always been narcissistic, right? America has always had narcissistic tendencies. But with this current administration, we are seeing narcissism personified, and we are seeing everything that is ugly about Americans, American history, and American culture. And this current president is on a complete and total revenge tour. He's always been a racist. His history, his words, his actions, it's been very clear. Now, that's not to say that racism was solved before he came in. Racism is an ugly scar that has never been addressed appropriately within the United States. And any efforts that have been made towards addressing those injustices have now been completely reversed. Because there is a contingent of people who have the same complexion as I do, who are scared of historical fact. America systematically and as individuals has a lot of work to do to unpack their racism and to fix this shit. And I felt like we were making progress, especially in the last few years, with a lot of initiatives in the workplace, for example, and through education And even just apps like this, learning about our actual history, super important. As I grow, I try to not be a selfish asshole. I still have a lot of work myself to do, but the bottom line to me is this. I wouldn't ask someone I loved personally to stay in an abusive relationship simply because I wanted proximity to them. I want for Black people to feel safe. I want them to not have to deal with macro and microaggressions and systemic racism and individual racism. I would love for white people to pull their fucking heads out of their asses and recognize the contributions that Black Americans have made since the creation of this country. I would especially love it if these racists did some inner work and figured their shit out and recognized psychologically where their fears are coming from, and they fucking fix themselves. But the Black community needs to do what it needs to do to make itself safe, because we white people have continued to fail you. And in all honesty, that statement applies to all demographics. Racism and violence has always existed in the United States. Some of us are doing the work. Obviously, not enough are doing the work. So this is for all non-white demographics or non-cisgendered, etc. Anybody who isn't fucking white, cisgendered, and straight. Okay, this message is for you. You need to feel safe psychologically and physically. That is a right you have. You should have that right. Like everyone. I don't want for us to give up, but I also don't want for you not to be safe. And in times like this in particular, you need to do what you need to do to keep yourself safe, and you owe no one an explanation.
All right. How I feel about it? I'm scared. I'm afraid. I know the stories of what happens to those of minority that goes out every day. I know what would happen if my daughter, who's mixed, will go out and something would happen. I'm not happy about this at all. And what he did is unconscionable.
You want to know how I feel? I hate it. We're letting history repeat itself. We're letting history repeat itself twice. We're letting history repeat itself with the segregation and establishing the Civil Rights Act of 1965. So we're starting there. Let's start there. We're letting history repeat itself. We're letting people who are racist, bigots, and whatnot run our country. Period. You can't change my mind on that. I don't care what he has done or who he's with. That is what he's doing. And that is what it is. The other part of history that's repeating itself is 80 plus years ago. We're going to go 85 years. 85 years. A man was discriminated and got his feelings hurt by a group of individuals. And then he put himself in politics, put himself in a position of power, and talked a country into starting a war. That country has been trying for the last several years to distance themselves from that situation. They know that they screwed up. They know that it was a bad idea to let this person do what he did. And what is America doing? We're doing the exact same thing. And if I have to spell it out to you of what that situation was, you don't know your history books. You don't know your history, and you need to go teach yourself and learn what's going on, because history is repeating itself, and that's what I hate. We are human beings. We're supposed to be better than the generations before us. Guess what? No, we're not. We're not being better. We're being worse. We're not moving forward. We're going backwards. And I'm sick of it. I have a dream of having a family, having kids, whether it be an instant family or starting a family. That is a dream of mine. But I'm starting to second guess myself on that. I don't want to bring a life into this world if we're going to be like that. If we're not going to be better than what we are. And that's sad. That's sad because I'm an only child. My lineage, my family lineage will end with me. And that's sad. So, I don't like it. I really don't. And no one can change my mind on how I view Trump, because I've never liked Trump, even before he was president. So, his mannerisms, his personality, he cannot separate himself from a position that he was elected into, which is, that position is not a job. It's a privilege and an honor. And he has no respect for that position. He has no honor for that position. He's just doing what he wants and being the same bully he was 20 years ago. Plain and simple. Can't change my mind.
I'm fucking disgusted by it. I'm ashamed. I'm embarrassed. I want to scream. I want to yell. And I want to hug people of other races, because I can't imagine how fucking targeted you all feel. And then I just want to slap my fellow Mayo Sapiens and tell them to get their shit together, because what the fuck, man? The caucasity! Anywho, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for them. I don't support. I don't agree. I'm sorry.
As a honky from the South and a former Trump supporter, this is nothing but a slow slide into white supremacy. Everything Trump is undoing is meant to enforce white supremacy, and I feel like it's obvious. And the only people that aren't recognizing it are the people that benefit from it. Because why would you acknowledge that something heinous is benefiting you directly? The overall theme of this presidency is Trump attempting to consolidate power. And we were warned about this in school, but I don't think enough people were paying attention. This racist bullshit is a dangling carrot to the wrong people. They're chasing that. They're not looking anywhere else around them. They're going to end up falling face first into the trap that they're attempting to set for other people. Some people are waking up because they'll be like, I voted for Trump and he's taking away my Medicare. It's like, yeah, girl, we tried to warn you, but you wanted to hurt other people so bad you didn't listen.
Hey, beautiful. So my first thought is I was very disappointed. But then again, look who's in office. So it didn't surprise me. Truth be told, white people need to learn a lesson. Big time. And for me personally, if I go into a facility or find out a facility is putting up those signs, whites only, this would be one white woman that will not be going. I'm not going to spend money in places that hate people. Plain and simple. So in all honesty, I truly hope this teaches a shit ton of white people a fucking lesson. And I hope this hurts them in every capable way that they're hoping and wishing that it hurts the black community. Yeah. Those are my thoughts.
Like I said before, if it says whites only and it can be filled with poop, I'm gonna fill it with poop. Everything that says whites only, new public restroom, I'm taking a shit on it.
It is deeply concerning. I mean, I never wanted in my lifetime to ever even potentially have to experience a world where we're not allowed to commingle, or we're not allowed to partake in diversity. And I never wanted this. And I'm really worried that this administration is not going to stop there. Like, are we actually regressing back to chattel? How far is this gonna go? I don't like it. I voted for the progression of our society, not the regression. I wanted us to get better and do better in the future. I don't want this. I don't want this.
She want to know how we feel about segregation. I'll tell you how I feel. I can't speak for everybody, but I'm going to be real honest with you. I've always been told history repeats itself. Now they've erased history, and people fought for desegregation. And now you guys want to segregate yourselves again? Like, history repeating itself. Does anyone know what the definition to insanity is? Yeah, to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different outcome. That's how I feel about it. I don't know how the rest of you feel. Y'all better stay prayed up. They trying to bring back fucking history. They repeating itself because they keep erasing it. I love you, darling. I hope y'all realize that we already did this once. We don't need to do it again. Stay prayed up.
Okay, I'm just gonna spit it out. This scares the hell out of me. Not only the history that we were actually allowed to see as someone who was raised in a Midwestern North state where it was like, oh, we were the good state, and like, and this, that, and the other, and like, you know, everything that came with civil rights and all of the uprisings with it, the redlining, all this sort of stuff that came with it. But what scares me is I think if we continue that path, we're going to see the parts of the history that aren't always talked about and told to people who look like me. Things that I'm ashamed that I didn't even know about until I was in my early 20s. Like how people who look like me felt threatened by prosperous African American or prosperous minority communities, and they just completely destroyed it and destroyed them. Like there's like over 50 different communities, if not more, that were destroyed by people who look like me, and that's what I'm scared of, because you're gonna have communities of BIPOC communities. If they are segregated from white communities, they're going to excel because they are fighters. They have when you have one barrier after the other, you become stronger. And I worry about the YT men in power who are going to see that as a threat and then act on it. So, yeah. I wish I could say something funny. There was a lot of funny comments on your video. I laughed out loud at the girl who said she'd take a dump in, like, the all-white tea, drinking fountain and stuff. But, like, yeah, in all seriousness, this scares the hell out of me, because there are things from our history that we were not taught, because we were ashamed. Our ancestors, the people who wrote the history books, were ashamed of it. And history repeats itself. And I think that if we continue down this path, white tea men and women in power are going to do their damnedest to overthrow any sort of success that those non-white communities obtain. And that scares me because it's not right. It's not right, it's not fair, and it's just inhumane AF. But yeah, this is longer than I meant it to be. So yeah, that's my answer.
How does it make me feel? I'll tell you. It pisses me the fuck off. We have fought so hard over countless years to fight for equal rights and to destroy Jim Crow segregation. And now, even though we're trying to declare that it's a federal ban, we're bringing back this whole segregated spaces, black only spaces, white only spaces. It's disgusting. I may be 50 years old this year, but I'll tell you, I was never taught at any point in my life that because of my skin tone, I somehow had some greater merit to deserve more things in this world simply because I have this lack of melanin. I was never taught, with presenting my skin tone as it is, that somehow I would be smarter or better than anybody else. The only people I know that kept that kind of racial stereotype or that kind of garbage are people from my grandfather's generation who lived through segregation and lived through the civil rights movement. And this whole idea of we're going to ban DEI across the nation is the same argument that conservatives were making during the whole affirmative action mess back in the 80s and 90s. Oh, you only got hired because you're black. No, that's bullshit. That is a bullshit and debunked argument. The way affirmative action was written in the 80s and 90s was to force employers to consider people of color who still had the appropriate qualifications, whereas before they wouldn't have even considered a person of color simply because they were a person of color. They were only allowed to be hired if they had the qualifications, i.e. they could present that through the proof of their resume and through the proof of their work skills. Diversity, equity, and inclusion was created under the vanguard idea and the very wonderful idea that we are better collectively, different ages, different ethnicities, different outlooks, we are collectively better together with different points of view than simply a myopic one-way view through one race only. And I'd like to add this whole conservative rhetoric of whites only, they're the only ones that have the merit, that we're building a meritocracy. That's all white supremacist propaganda. So no, not only am I willing to share the same water fountain as a black person, I'm willing to share my house and dinner with a black family. I'm willing to share my same workstation with a black candidate. I'm willing to sit in the same church and swim in the same pool as my black brothers and sisters in Christ. My world is better with people of color in it, and I am happy to share my spaces with them.
I don't even know how to feel. I'm upset, I'm appalled, I'm disgusted. It just baffles me to even think that my mom, when she was in elementary school, she remembers when they finally had integration in the schools. She remembers all of that. My mom. It's not been that long ago. So for us to go back, I'm sad to say that I'm not shocked based off of what's happening overall in the country, I'm not shocked. I'm still sick, sad, disgusted, and all the bad things you can name. No, it doesn't affect me directly, per se. But I have family that are people of color. I have, obviously friends and colleagues and coworkers and all that. I mean, that's life. That's everywhere. So to be set back to what feels like a World War II era, I'm afraid for everyone. I'm afraid for myself as a female. I'm afraid for my daughters. I'm afraid for my nieces and nephews, my whole family, everyone. Even people I don't know. I'm afraid for everyone. I don't even know what to do. There's not much I can do, not at the current standing, but it's just fucking upsetting. I would like to think that we overall are better than this. I'd like to think that. I'd like to hope that. But he's got so much support and nobody's stopping him. It feels like this is what they wanted all along. So I'm just beside myself. Good luck to everyone.
I wish I could remember which creator it was because they said it best. If I see a white only sign outside your building, I'm throwing bricks.
I'm gay, I'm indigenous, and I'm white. Segregation is primitive. We left it in the past for a reason. I will never shop, eat, or be at a whites-only establishment. Fuck that shit. It's crazy.
If they bring back segregation, I'm sitting on the color side. I don't give a shit what they're gonna do. I have a melting pot of a family. I'm not doing it. That's so damn stupid. Have y'all? I'm sitting on the color side.
Wow, welcome back. It was a long video and I hope you have enjoyed it, because white people are like, okay, this pisses me off. They don't want it. And I tell them in the comment section, why do you think white people don't want segregation? Why? Because personally, I feel like they are scared of some things they know themselves, but some of them maybe they are like, okay, we want it, but on social media, let's say we don't want it. There's two types of people who will come out and react on it, types of white people. One of them will react with it with deeper feeling of, okay, I do not want this segregation because it's only lead to white supremacy. And deep down, she'll be like, okay, I'm enjoying the white supremacy because the white supremacy is about the, what we call what? It's about the, they are getting like dividends of white supremacy, privileges, and unearned privileges that white people are getting due to white supremacy. I'm not sure that they will want to lose that, okay? And I believe that, personally, I believe that segregation will affect more white people than black people. And we'll do that on the another episode. I will explain more, okay? Because white people or their work are being done by black people. And some of the dirt works, they call that dirt works, are being done by the black people because black people can do anything and everything, okay? But this video that I've just showed you about how white people feel has opened my eyes that as far as white supremacy is good, but it has its negativity. As far as black people are happy about bringing back segregation, that means that they are ready for it. But white people are not ready to lose this privilege they are getting from black people. And they are not ready to own the country. Because it was about bringing America back to the people. Make America great again. Now Trump is trying to make it great again by making it racist again, making it for the white. But they are like, oh, God damn it, we don't want this shit. They are scared of it. Of all the videos I have showed you, each and every white person does. I've not seen a video where a white person does not support these segregation issues. Now, some made me happy. One said that if I go to the segregated fountain that is for white, I will poop there. And I was like, okay, this is amazing. I'm just seeing the other side of white people who truly knows what these social issues is, and I'm getting to another side of white people who they really don't care about the social issues. They care about themselves. And I believe that a lot of white people who are speaking, it comes in two parts. Either they care or they does not care. Now, white people are scared of segregation. White people are scared of segregation. Number one is because of the cultural shift, according to me. Because over time, there's been a shift towards greater integration. And many white people, especially younger generation, have grown in diverse community. And for them, the idea of segregation may feel like it is, I will call it what, antithetical to the experience, where they view inclusion and diversity as strengths. A lot of young white generation have grown in inclusive culture, black, Latinos, and them mixing. They have not grown into knowing that we have to stay alone. Now, this, it will be hard for them. And that's why there is a video I did of interracial couple reacting on this segregation. And I was asking, like, how will it be? You have biracial children, mixed children. Which school would they go? Which hospital would they go? Which fountain would they use? Which restaurant would they use? Is it white restaurant or black restaurant? It will be hard for the white fraternity because they have, you know, as I said, black people are free. Like, they are like free electrons. They move freely. They can do anything. Each and every work, may it farm work, may it, like office work, this we call that works, all of them, black people, they do all of them. But white people, most of them depends on these white people to go there. And some of white people will fear segregation because they will lose that. Now, another thing that will affect white people, or why they are scared of that, is because of the moral and ethical concerns. Because many white people have or may have moral or ethical belief that reject segregation because it is seen as unjust and discriminatory. Now, bringing back segregation, this individual may feel like it's like any form of racial or separation undermines the principle of equal and human dignity. Because some white people have this human dignity. Some white people are truly, like, they protect the humanity. And like Julius Malema said this, we do not have problems with the white people. We have problems with the white system. Some white people, most of them are good people. And some of them, we have mingled with them and, they don't care what we do and we don't care what they do. Everyone has its own business. But the system, the white system, is what we are against it. So this bringing back segregation, some white people are scared from what I've seen on these videos because of this moral and ethical concerns. Some of them have morals. They care about humanity, but white system does not care about humanity. Let me tell you, it doesn't care about humanity. Another thing why white people are scared of it, as I may think, maybe is the fear. They fear to lose the privilege. As I said, now in some cases, can be seen as a threat. Segregation can be seen as a threat to power and social standing. Now, some groups of white people have historically enjoyed segregation, but if a society were to reinstate segregation, it might be seen as a challenge to the current order, where white people are generally the dominant group, which could create anxiety about losing that status, because everyone will be on its own state. Now, white people are dominant because they are out here controlling these other groups. They are controlling Latinos, controlling. But when we are segregated, you won't get that chance to control. Now we will see your true colors. And your true colors is that maybe you are a loser, maybe you can't do this shit, maybe you can't create music, maybe you can't, because most of the music are being created by black people culture. Most of the restaurant are black people doing there. Most of a number of things, discoveries, black people are the one on the front line. But once we lose this, once we reinstate segregation, there is some privileges as white people we will lose. So we are scared of it. We are scared of it. You get what I'm saying? I don't know if you are on the right path. Reinstating segregation, some white people may lose the privileges. I know most are saying that, okay, when segregation is back, they will have more power. No. That means that Latinos and other black people or other marginalized group will be on their own move, and white people will be on their own move. No one will be controlling other. Black people will be supporting black businesses. Black people will have, so it will be easy to know who was really helping one another. Okay? In that perspective, I'm saying that I know you understand that, okay? So, some white people, they have fear of backlash. Okay? Fear of backlash. Now, some white individuals, they may be emotional or, social discomfort, tired on the idea of returning to a system of segregated groups. Because many people feel that segregation is unjust and oppressive, which can cause them to fear it because it challenges the values of equality, justice, and inclusion that many people in the Western society has held on. Okay? So fear of social backlash. Some of them, they fear that we may have what? They fear that we may have division and conflicts. I think that's a lot of white people fear that because they think black people will go on the street, they will go protest, they will, just conflicts between the groups. That's what they fear. And that's why they don't want that. But as I said, black people have already made peace with this. They are like, okay, bring it on. We ain't going to the street. We ain't protesting. We ain't fighting this. If you want this segregation, okay, we are there. So, I've watched these videos and I'm like, oh yeah. I've seen one of our white guys saying that he will not protest about it, but he won't visit any places that it's for white only. That means we'll make sure that this white only business are finished. We'll make sure that we do not visit the places that have this white sign and black color sign. That's a way of protesting. And I think that they have just realized how important black people are. And they have just realized that how these white privileges and white supremacy it's eating them up. There's one on my video I say that white privilege or white supremacy may feel good, but it's eating your generation. Because even if you are suffering as a white person, you can't raise alarm, you can't protest because you are the best, you are the supreme. And the rich white people have been lying to you that this marginalized group are their problem or are your problem. So Trump said this, give me power and I will take everyone to its own place. I will take back Mexican to Mexico, Hispanic, Cuban, I will take back black people, and you as white people will dominate this country. But that is only advantageous to the white people who are rich, or that is only advantageous to the people who are benefiting from this one. Not everyone will benefit from this segregation. Not everyone will benefit from this. Not every white person will benefit from it. And a lot of white people have now realized that. And that's why you see them creating videos saying that we don't want that. We cool with what we have. We don't want that. We don't want segregation. But that may only become into two parts. One will be saying we don't want segregation because he means it. The other one will be like, okay, yeah, I wanted that. But he will say, okay, I don't want that. So, as black people and everyone who has watched this video, tell me what you think about segregation. As white people, tell me, how do you feel about segregation? Okay, until next episode, peace out. Dada Kangath.